Yeah, the good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everyone. But the purpose of this video is uh, to interrogate this issue of the theories in research. Theorizing beyond the West simply means that Black communicators, Black communicologists have been wrestling with the issue of theory building, theory formation, theory testing, and examining theories in their research. Min Sung Kim in 2002 stated that uh, Western theories have Western bias. In fact, communication theories have Western bias. And Amamazama subsequently also supported the allegation by saying that it is Western theories or communication theory largely is mainly about the weapons to subjugate the others, uppercase O, the others, non Western consumers, non Western readers, non Western authors. And we all remember Chinua Achebe, who says that when the lions do not write their own history, the history of the hunt will only glorify the hunter. Why do we keep consuming, imbibing mostly Western theories to resolve non Western problems? Again, why do we use Western theories to resolve non Western problems? This has been the overriding question that has been haunting us. Take, for instance, cultivation theory by George Gardner. How does cultivation theory by George Gardner find a place within the African community, within the Black community, for instance, when it was rooted geographically, culturally within the American society in the 1950s and even in the 60s, or sometimes even before? The same with agenda setting, the same with spiral of silence, the same with all uncountable number of theories that are rooted in Western culture, Western history, Western sociology, Western economics, political, and cultural hemisphere. So the time has come for Black communicators and Black communicologists to fashion out, to articulate, to postulate, to create Black centered theories that will be able to hone, that will be able to be used by doctoral students or graduate students all over the world to test whether they are authentic or they are not authentic. Take, for instance, we came out with a book in 2018 titled Black Africana Communication Theory 2018. And that was already a signal that Black communication scholars all over the world could come out with theories that are rooted within the Black hemisphere, Africans on the continent of Africa, or Blacks in the diaspora outside the continent of Africa. White validation syndrome theory by Amma Mazama, for instance, in that book, articulates that in most cases, and largely in most cases, Blacks outside the continent of Africa, and sometimes even within the continent of Africa, are attempting to be validated, to be accepted by the white community, by the Western community. And so the white validation syndrome theory simply states that more often than not in our lives, we do things just to be accepted, just to match according to the norms that are created by largely the Western societies. So we live our life as secondary human beings. We live our lives as appendages. In fact, we are the footnote. We are the footnote in communication research, in communication theories. How painful is that? So, what stops communication scholars to also fashion out, to postulate, to root out theories that are buried, not necessarily buried, but that are fashioned within the ontological, axiological, and epistemological stances of Black scholars, Black experience? So a number of us, especially in that book, came out with some of the theory. Look at Nikisia's creolized media theory, which is rooted especially in Jamaica. Without Creole, how do you really understand the Jamaican media, for instance, without really understanding the linguistic jargon, without understanding that Creole is one of those languages that people speak the truth with. That is that language where people articulate their secrets, not necessarily their secret, but about their joys, their sorrows. That is their language, and that they even translate from Creole into English language or any other Western languages. So, Creole's media theory is stating that for you to understand the media, how the media function, how the media operate within the Jamaican society, you need certain rubrics, and the assumptions are stated clearly in that theory. The same thing with the theory that I came up with in that book called Afro Mulatto Communication Theory, which is a linguistically based theory within the African setup, within the Cameroonian setup. So, what we are saying in this panel is that the time has come for communication scholars all over the world, not necessarily only in the United States, but all over the world to wake up to the realization that we also need to populate the communication scholarship with Black communication driven theories, which our graduate students will be able to use qualitatively, quantitatively to test and to examine in their research. The time has gone for us to be using magic bullet theory, agenda setting theory, propaganda theory, Habermas theory of public sphere. There's Black public sphere, for instance, or even with what my students are wrestling with the other day on feminism, when there is womanism, or when there's Black feminism. Why was Black feminism fashioned? Simply because most Black women found themselves a little bit lost in feminism, so-called white feminism. So we should, at least from now, hence, be thinking about reformulating, re-evaluating, redesigning our communication theory classes in our universities. Thank you so much, and I wish you all a wonderful discussion about this issue that has been the center stage of the debate here, especially with my students at the HBCUs and as I journey all over the continent of Africa. Thank you so much.